Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for week ending April 13th, 2022. Prices are headed in one direction and it's not up. I'll get into that in a minute when I go through the numbers, but let me tell you what's happening. I'm getting a bunch of calls from those of you that watch me on YouTube through my link to my calendar below, and the overwhelming theme seems to be that you're not happy. You're not happy with a property you bought 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, and you want to know how to get out of the deal. Well, the short answer is, look, if you're in a firm deal and you paid a deposit, you probably can't get out of that. It's next to impossible to get out of that, assuming everything is all done properly. So you're stuck there. But as I dig into the conversation, and it seems with almost everybody I speak to that has this situation, they feel so misrepresented by the realtor that they use. They feel that they overpaid. The market has shifted since then, but they feel then when they bought, it was already, we've been talking about a market shift since the middle of February now, but 2, 3 weeks ago these people bought, and they feel that when I get into the numbers or get into that, the situation that happened, they were acting like they're competing like it's January. They feel that their best interests weren't forefront. They feel that their realtor did not really look after their best interest. Look, I got to say something first of all, to people that are looking to get into the market and looking to obviously work with the realtor. You got to take some responsibility here on who you hire. Let's be real. People will take more time deciding which restaurant to go to dinner at or which holiday to take, where to go, than picking a realtor that's going to help them navigate a purchase of $1 million, $2 million, $3 million property. It's unbelievable. Who you hire matters. So, take some responsibility there. Some of these people said they found out later that their realtor was a part-time realtor, or their realtor really didn't understand the market. Well, shouldn't you know that ahead of time? I'm going to say that. And for the realtors that are, working hard, there's so many of you doing a phenomenal job. But, as a realtor, if you want to hit your goals, your business goals, because this is your livelihood, whatever's important or in the best interest for your client, that's got to be forefront all the time. Whatever is good for your client, chances are is good for you. So take care of your client and you'll have plenty of clients. Don't take care of them and somebody else will. Who you hire matters. That's always been the case. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. If you think this video can help anybody you know, please pass it along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me, anything to do about real estate, buying, selling, whatever the case may be, it's really simple. In the description below this video, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's good for you. This way I'll know ahead of time and make sure my schedule's organized so I could talk to you about whatever's on your mind. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the numbers. There's lots going on in Mississauga, Brampton, and Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby for the Durham area. Here's a quick summary of where prices are going. If I just put my hand up here and cover these 3 areas, prices have been going down. Let's look real close here at Mississauga. I should say, if you're joining us, welcome. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This is detached properties only, broken down by week for a whole year, on this slide right now, just for Mississauga. So sales went up a little bit. We sold 62 detached properties in Mississauga, a little bit more than what we sold the previous week. 10 of those are at $2 million or more. 62 is not a lot of sales. We were doing way better last year, and we'll get into that in a minute. Average sold price came way down from the previous week. It's now sitting at $1,680,000. Now, we don't we monitor it week by week, and we kind of see what goes on week by week, but we don't make decisions based on 1 week. So yeah, average sold price came way down. Previous week went way up, back and forth. But let's look at the trend. I mean, if we come back here, we could see average sold prices kind of back here. I'm in the middle of August. It's going up slowly, and then boom, shot way up, and it's coming down just as fast now. And these are the things that happen sometimes when prices go up very fast. What goes up comes down sometimes at the same rate. So Mississauga prices are headed in one direction right now. When we compare it to last year, if we come back here, January, February, we were 29, 40%, 30% higher than last year's average sold price. Last week, we're 13% higher than last year's average sold price. And last year, we sold, at the same week, 16 properties at $2 million or more. This year, we sold 10. Looking at median price is 9% higher than what it was last year. And if we look at the trajectory of the median price, it's also kind of, in median price you don't get the peaks and valleys to the same extent as you do with average sold price, but median price has been coming down. It's now sitting at $1,500,000 for Mississauga detached properties only. So looking at the sales, of the 62 that sold, 73% sold at list price or more. We used to be in the high 80s and 90s. It's now 73%. 73% is still competitive. I'm not saying this is doom and gloom, but it's a different world where 80, 90% are selling at list price or more versus 73%. There are some more opportunities there if you're looking to buy. If you're looking to sell, you got to strategize to get the price that you want. Year to date, if we compare January 1st to April 13th this year versus last year, well, this year we're 32% lower sales than last year. Listings are 20% lower than last year. We listed 142 last week. Now, listings are interesting. It's interesting to know, but to me the more important number is active listings. I'll tell you why. In this listings, we listed 142 last week. There could have been properties that were listed the previous week, canceled, relisted with the new price. Even sometimes the same week, it lists, gets canceled, gets relisted. So it's an interesting number, but there's some flaws there with just looking at listings. 252 active listings mean how many properties are actually available for sale the end of this week. That to me is a more important number because we take the sales, the current rate that we're buying properties at versus how many are actually available for sale, and that gives us the months of inventory. If we continue to buy at the same rate we were just buying, that we just finished this week, how quickly are we going to go through our inventory? And that helps monitor the whole relationship between supply and demand. That's months of inventory. It came down a little bit. It's sitting at 0.9 now. And again, you could see average sold price coming down. Let's take a look at Brampton. Same idea. Sales. Only 79 detached properties were sold in Brampton last week. 11 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price, here we are, middle of August, has been going up. It is now coming down. Although last week, average sold price went up quite a bit from the previous week. It's now sitting at, now sitting at $1,572,000, but it has been coming down for the last couple months. For this 1 week, average sold price is 34% higher than what it was a year ago. So look, I'm talking about average prices coming down, but we're still way ahead of the game. And I'm talking about coming down versus the last couple of weeks. But prices are still pretty much up there. Median price is 27% higher than what it was a year ago. And if we look at the burgundy line median price, it's going one way. Sales year to date, we're 36% less sales this year than last year. That's a lot of activity missing from the sales funnel, we'll call it there. And of the 79 that sold, 67% sold at list price or more. Compare this week to last year this week. Last year, 81% were selling at list price or more. So we did a ton more sales last year this week, 165. 81% of those sold at list price or more. This year, selling way less in the same week, only 79, and 67% selling at list price or more. It's vastly a different world right now in the same week, in the same area in Brampton. Again, 36% less sales. Listings are 18% lower year to date. We listed 244, but the magic number to me that just puts everything into perspective is active listings. It's a little bit higher than what it was last week, and months of inventory, because of the lower sales and active listings being a bit higher, active listings is up. It's now sitting at 1.3 months of inventory. That's how much stock we have. If we continue to buy at the same rate, and we'll run out in 1.3 months. Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. That's what I'm using for my Durham region. Now, lots of people sometimes ask, why don't you expand it to Oshawa and all these other areas? Do all of Durham. I'm not doing that just because I think the numbers get very skewed. You got Scugog, you got Uxbridge, you got all these other areas, part of Durham. So I'm keeping it to the three main areas. People looking to buy in Toronto, maybe can't. They'll go out to Pickering, Ajax, Whitby. Going a bit further, it's a bit more complicated for people. Plus the numbers will be skewed. So Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, that's why I'm looking at that only. We sold 67 detached properties. 4 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price sitting at $1,376,000. This is interesting though. Just like the other areas, average sold price has gone way up, then it's come down very fast to $1,326,000 here, but it's creeping up now, and it's kind of been around $1,360,000, $1,370,000, which is where it is now, $1,376,000. Let's see what happens over the next few weeks. I mean, we can't do more than that, but this is what's happening. Prices come down, and then now looks like it's stabling off around $1,370,000. We're 22% higher than last year's average sold price. Median price is 31% higher than last year's average sold price. And same thing with median price has come down, and it's stabled off. It's kind of sitting around 1.3 right now. It's been like that. Out of the last 4 weeks, 1.3 has been the same number there for 3 weeks. Sales are 30% lower this year to date, than last year. And of the 67 that sold, it's not a lot of sales. 67 is not a lot. 90% of those sold at list price or more. So still very competitive in the Durham area. And these are the listings. So we listed 165 active listings, is basically what it was last week. It's down by 1. So 216 active listings, and sales listings overall are 3% lower year to date. Months of inventory has stayed the same at 0.7 months of inventory. Let's look at condos. This is for all Peel region condos. The majority of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga, but this is for all Peel region. Sales are up by a little bit. Previous week we sold 57. Last week we sold 61 condos in Peel. Average sold price for condos, well, it's been going up, and now it's coming down just as fast as it went up. Average sold price is now $690,000, which is huge difference from last year. It's 25% higher than what it was a year ago. And when we look at median price, it's 28% higher than what it was a year ago. Median price and average sold price are just $5,000 apart. They're almost the same. And when we look at sales, well, look, we're 13% lower than last year's sales if we look at year to date. But 77% of those 61 that sold at list price or more. Listings, we're up. Year to date, we're 5% more listings this year than last year's, and active listings is up slightly to 265. Months of inventory up a little bit from the previous week. It's now sitting at 1 month of inventory. Average days on market for the Peel condos is 10. Here's a quick summary of all the months of inventory. Some are up, some are down, some are the same. Generally speaking though, prices are coming down in some areas, some neighborhoods aggressively, in other neighborhoods not so aggressively. More of a quick summary is, look, we're still way higher than last year's price, but it's a whole different buying experience now than what it was just a few months ago in February when we first announced, middle of February, there is a shift. Work with somebody who's going to help you navigate this crazy, crazy market, somebody with experience that knows what they're doing. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.